Okay, so Wes, just two great movies in a row. I loved last year's A Love Song and now Mending the Line. Uh, for you personally, what made this script just a project to be part of? Because it's a really personal kind of story and must have been a very great experience just working on a project like this that comes from a very personal place.
Yeah, that's one of the fact that yeah, I can relate to the main character's storyline as well as the as Brian Cox's character, probably perhaps more because we share the Vietnam experience, and or in a way we share the experience. Uh, my real self and his character. But the opportunity to work with him, for one, he's a great actor from forever, right? So it was really great to work with him and steal all I could from him, And
Yeah.
plus, I got to learn how to use a fly rod.
Look, I feel like I love this movie, but I feel like such an inferior human being because my niece really wants me to take her fishing. And I remember, I don't know much about fishing and I don't know much about fly fishing. How with the fly rod, is that hard to learn? Does it take patience and time? Can one learn at an elderly age like mine?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, it does take a little time. And actually, what it takes is relaxing yourself, not focusing on, I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to do one, two, three, and here I am. I know how to use a fly rod. But it's a matter of relaxing the mind, the body, uh, and getting into the flow of using a fly rod and yeah, catching on to the the riff of it. Just it's an amazing thing. But if you want to take your daughter fishing, you don't have to fly fish. You can always fish the other way, with a rod and reel kind of fishing, which is a little simpler.
As far as getting to the rhythm, just watching your work over the last, several decades, you've always seemed to be in the moment as an actor. And I wonder, you started off as a reporter, then you served in Vietnam, and then just living your life. How were you able to just stay in the moment as an actor? Is it just because of the life experience you brought into acting? And then by the time you were acting, you were a fully fledged, adult and you've lived these kind of experiences and you knew when to relax when the cameras were rolling.
um, yeah, I think I try to stay in the moment as much as possible. I really don't know where else to go. The moment is, and the moment is what you are. I think, um, but um, I'm unsure if I answered your question there.
Oh, no, you definitely did.
Hmm.
Do you when a movie's completed, do you watch the entire product? Because how happy are you with Mending the Line? Because it's a really accomplished narrative.
I saw my first screening of it last night. And it was the first time I'd seen it, and I was very impressed with everything about it. The beauty of Montana and the harshness of Afghanistan, and the just the work of the actors was just superb. Of course, I thought, and then I think uh, I found very few holes in the whole story, and usually you come away with discovering holes here, there, in the script and all. But this runs very smoothly, I think, and um, tells a good story in a good way. And while you would think it was a total downer, there's some good laughs in it as well. Just
Yeah.
to sort of relieve the tension of trauma.
Yeah. You mentioned the beauty of Montana, and I just stay at home and watch movies and do Zoom interviews. And one of these days, I want to actually go out and travel and I want to explore the beauty of Santa Fe. And I was reading some of your interviews, and one of the places I'd like to check out is La Fonda on the Plaza. Is that a good starting point because it's in the center of a lot of things? Would that be a good place for me to stay and go to the Bell and all that stuff and see the sunset? I mean, your thoughts on would that be a good
Oh
place?
yeah, You would be totally centrally located if you were at La Fonda. It's everything is built somewhere around there, very near uh, the town experience or the city experience of Santa Fe. But what I was really impressed with was the bigness of Montana in terms of the mountains and the rivers and well, everything is just so huge compared to other places. Even Santa Fe. I mean, Santa Fe, we have the mountains as well, but there's a certain largeness about the environment in southeastern Montana, where we actually shot this Mending the Line film.
Wes, I have a
You
couple
should
more.
travel. You
Oh, I'm
should
sorry.
travel. Yeah, you
I,
should. You should travel.
Yeah, I'm in my early 50s. It's getting a lot later, so I need to start doing it right now, Wes. But final couple questions. Former fight. I do a podcast called Find Your Film, and I like to actually spotlight films that I feel are underrated and overlooked. And I remember for a love song, as we're closing the interviews, I asked you, "What's one movie from your resume that you would actually recommend?" And you just quickly said Mystery Man. I've seen it since. I love it. Can you just speak to our listeners? What makes Mystery Men such a special experience for you? And my co-host, he wanted to ask you, is would you be open to Sphinx in a sequel to Mystery Men? Because it's such a delightful and wonderful film.
Well, okay. On a personal level, it gave me a chance to wear spandex. Let's put it that way, and a mask. And we were I think ahead of our time in a way in terms of wannabe superheroes, and that genre of filmmaking was. We may have just been a bit ahead of ourselves because the stories come from, I think, a dark horse comic line of what are they called now? Not comic books, but
And graphic novels, I guess.
graphic novels. Yes, graphic novels. Uh, but that was that was a whole lot of fun to do for a variety of reasons. I got to work with a whole bunch of comedian types, and learned a little bit about comedy itself. So yeah, I know that it's a serious business for comedians.
Definitely. And final question is, I want to track down a very good Indian. I think the director has a website. I'm going to purchase the DVD and watch the movie, and really excited for that. What can I expect from a very good Indian and that experience? How was that experience for you?
Oh, you mean the only good Indian?
Sorry, the only good Indian. My fault.
Yeah, the only good Indian is that it's actually, uh, in its own way, is a Dracula story about the oppressed mirroring and becoming the oppressor, and how easily that happens from generation to generation amongst people. And yeah, and the storyline itself even follows with a book about Dracula. It's how it fits into the Native American experience when the Europeans and the natives came into conflict here, and what developed afterwards. That's the real story of the only good Indian, because it comes from the saying that the only good Indian is a dead Indian.
Yeah.
I think it was made famous by some general.
Yeah. Well, Wes, really enjoyed Mending the Line. Can't wait to see The Only Good Indian as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Good to see you again, Greg.
Okay. Take care, man.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.